I spent $65,000 on getting a BA in English and creative writing that I have literally not used in my entire career.
Welcome to the Common Sense Show, and shout out to everyone who found this channel because you realize that nobody's coming to save you. We're talking business, personal finance, and wealth, just like it should have been taught to us a long time ago. So here's the number that broke my brain this week. A record 8.9 million Americans are working 2 jobs right now. That's the highest rate since the Great Recession. That's not a fluke. There are so many people suffering right now. And we're going to take a look at some of the people and why they're suffering, let them explain it in their own words. And we're going to talk about exactly what you can do to try to change your outcome with one simple move. Let's get into it. Okay, let's take a look to see what people are going through and how they're feeling about having all these degrees, still being broke.
A realization I've had to come to terms with is that I went to school, worked full time, and got a full 4-year bachelor's degree, and it ain't do nothing for me. I feel like I just wasted my time. I feel like if you're not going to do anything like medical related or law or human resources, and even then, what's the point? What's the point?
She ain't wrong. The reality is that the market is different right now. I mean, there are very specialized skills. You're going to hear me say this throughout this video, but you're going to hear me say it in other videos too. Acquiring skill acquisition is the number one thing right now for people. That's what companies are hiring for. They want to know that you can do the job. They want to see your skill set, that you have experience doing that thing. That's why I created what I call small business mastery. I have a small business mastery cohort. So if you're a business owner, I teach exactly how you can actually level up your skills in business while you operate it, how to manage your cash flow, how to hire your first and fire employees, how to manage your operations. There's a lot of skills that are involved in being a business owner, not just opening the doors. So the reason why I did it though, the point is that skill building is really the backbone of where the entire economy is going right now.
I spent $65,000 on getting a BA in English and creative writing that
$65,000 on a BA in English and creative writing. Like, what was the plan for that? Honestly,
that I have literally not used in my entire career. If you kind of feel like in the same boat as me, then just keep watching. But if not, if you're like loved college and you think everyone should go to college, probably not gonna like this video. If I could go back in time, I don't have that many regrets in life. I try to live like with not many regrets, but that is the biggest regret I have in my life, is actually finishing my degree, because I took a couple gap years and lived in Thailand for a while, which is, I learned way more in college there then too, but that's not the point. If I could go back in time, what I would do is I would take that $65,000 and I would invest it in courses, mentorship, getting taught by people who are actually doing the work, who are actually making more than 60, 70K a year.
This woman is smart. And here's why. Because what she's talking about is time compression and elevating your skills. So using other people's collective knowledge to increase your skills and collapsing time to go from an emerging skill set or a fledgling skill set to one that's full of competence, but leveraging people's knowledge in order to do that. That's the point of courses. I know that courses get a bad rap from people on the interwebs because you're just like, oh, this person, oh, course is this, course that, blah, blah, blah. But if you look for someone who actually has the skills and the ability to deliver on what they say in the courses, it can really collapse time for you. Just saying.
As a teacher. Unfortunately, I finished my degree and realized that. So shortly after I graduated, I got into like freelancing and kind of more marketing type of work that I was more interested in. And the first course that I've ever bought was $3,000. It was basically a course in like drop shipping and how to make money drop shipping. I learned a lot, but drop shipping I learned was not for me. Was it a waste of money? I don't think so, because I learned so much and it opened my eyes to like how I could learn from people actually doing the work.
Don't do a drop shipping course. Okay. A few things. I don't mind you going out and learning from people who have the know-how, but drop shipping ain't it. Don't I'm gonna come get you if you start a drop shipping course. I'm coming to you. And we're gonna have to talk about this face to face. No, don't do that.
The second course I bought was $1,000, and it basically taught me how to start a digital marketing agency, like a Facebook ad agency. And that taught me so much. A lot of what I do now at my 6-figure marketing job.
She spent $1,000 and gained the skills to work a 6-figure job. This is what I'm talking about, people. She invested $1,000 to collapse time to build skills in her trajectory, going from wherever she was, which I assume, based off of what she's saying, was not a great job, to like increasing her skill set so that now she's earning 6 figures at a job for $1,000, not 65 in creative writing. Just saying.
Being in your 20s now, we are so different from the 20s that our parents were experiencing and our grandparents, because the economy and things are so different. And I was saying how it's because they had way more capital. They could do a lot more with $40,000 a year. Whereas like now, $40,000 a year, girl, where you living? You're living in a shoebox.
She's not wrong about that, but I think the nuance is $40,000 is $40,000. I know I'm splitting hairs here, but it's just about where $40,000 kind of would have gone, right? It was the value of $40,000 is much, much less. But I mean, it's like having 5 pounds of fat versus 5 pounds of muscle. It's still 5 pounds. It's just what the difference is in terms of the actual mechanism.
And I think like a prime example of this, obviously there's so many people who experience this, is like, I have a master's degree. A master's degree, I got it at 22, and I can't use it because the jobs that are set for this master's degree are being defunded. Public health care. Big shock. I wonder why that's being defunded. What's ironic about it is like education is used as this tool to gain more capital, to move up socially and economically and in class, right? In the past, it has been, if you get a PhD, a master's, and a college degree, you are typically at a standing point that's better than someone who's not in those education brackets, right?
Research still shows that people that have advanced degrees, bachelor's, master's, and PhD over the lifetime earn more. That still holds true, but that gap is going to be closing like a rock falling off the Empire State Building very fast in the next few years.
Whereas like now, you're blockading education because everything costs so much money. You have crippling student loan debt, and then you can't get a job to pay off that student loan debt. And so I think it's more than just, oh, your parents had more capital. Your parents were able to do a lot with a college degree. It's even the degrees you have now are not useless. I'm not going to say don't get your education. I don't regret getting my master's. But they don't even offer or create spaces for that because everything is like, oh, well, I want 70 hours of experience in this specific thing. Meanwhile, okay, but I did my master's degree and I have 100 plus, I know 200 plus hours within this realm, but you don't take that because it's not work experience because I was getting an education and I wasn't working.
I think that your parents, assuming that they went through the track that she described, I think that your parents still did the most with what they could do in a different time period. This happens all the time. It's like a story as old as time. The generation afterwards talks about how the generation before had it way better than them. In many cases, that's true. Life tends to get different with every generation. It changes in work, in relationships, and culture across the board. The reality is at the end of the day, what are you going to do with your opportunity given to you? When things change, you have to change with it. You have to be able to adjust. You have to be able to pursue skills and not just education. And as you mentioned, education is important, but like skill-based training that gives you the skills to be invaluable to an employer or in the marketplace. You want people fighting over you or at least pursuing you because of who you are and what you bring to the table. Build those skills and they will come. I have some final thoughts. Here's what nobody told you. The unemployment rate for college graduates between the ages of 22 to 27 is about 5.8%. That's the highest since 2021. And the gap between new unemployment and graduate unemployment is the highest it's been in over 30 years. But it gets worse because college graduates, even after they graduate, about 52% of those individuals are severely underemployed after 1 year graduating from university. That means that they're working for a job that they didn't even get their degree in. About 44% are still in those jobs 10 years later. That college degree that you spent tens of thousands of dollars on, it ain't helping you. All right, I told you I was going to give you some moves to change the equation, and here they are. There are 3 moves that you have to make to help try to balance the scales due to your underemployment if you are one of those college graduates that are underemployed. First, stop optimizing for more hours because the data just doesn't compute on that. the data shows that just earning $900 or more is not really a financial strategy that moves the needle quite a bit. You may have to think about something else a little bit more comprehensive that can actually put about 30 to 35% more income in your pocket, other than just a job that pays you, or a side hustle, or something that you get paid for part-time that just makes you a minimal amount. You want to aim for a specific dollar amount that adds specifically to your budget in a real way. Second, get more specific about your skills. Employers right now are going away from college degree requirements and going more towards skill requirements. So unfortunately, as hard as it is, all the money you spent, all the years you took at university, that's becoming more and more and more less required by employers, and what's way more important to employers going into 2027, 2028, 2029, and the future is skill-based employment. See what areas of your industry or your specialty that you can level up by getting different skills. Third, try to build income that doesn't require significantly more of your time. For instance, a $500 a month investment at the age of 30 yielding 7% becomes about $500,000 by the time you retire. You have to play the game the right way. If you're in your early 20s, time is your best asset and you should use it. If anything, try to get a part-time job or a part-time hustle with the goal where you're going to put that money away for later on when you're getting closer to retirement. The advice that you were given when you went to school is becoming less and less relevant by the year, perhaps even by the month. Degrees, hard work, loyalty, none of that is wrong in and of itself. It's just incomplete. The people right now who are winning aren't just working harder, they're building leverage, they're building skills, and they're becoming an asset in other ways outside of just working for a job, one degree, one position. They understand the value of building multiple assets in different ways so that they can capture their personal economy. I tell people to think about their household budgets and finance as their own personal economy. You're the treasury secretary, you're the president of your own economy in your home, and you should do something about it because no one else is going to add to your income except for you. Think about ways that you can add income into your household that builds how much money you're coming in. You can add to your savings, your retirement, you can add to your lifestyle, whatever the case is. The reality is people need multiple streams of income, at least like 3 or 4, I feel like, coming into their homes in order to even be sustainable, especially in areas where the cost of living is outrageous, like Massachusetts. If this hit different today, smash the like button because it tells YouTube to show more of this content to people who need to hear it. I'll see you on the next one.